Hey, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're checking out the Sabotaj by Biolos for Lost Surfboards. So the Sabotaj I've been riding is the stock 511, which comes in at 511 by 19.13 by 2.45 and is exactly 30 litres flat. So the Sabotaj is a new kind of pro model for Taj Burrows. And it's a bit of a, I think it adds to that series of boards that Biolos and Mayhem, Lost Surfboards had, which were called like kind of quiver killing boards. So one board to cover a whole lot of conditions. But I think the Sabotaj is designed to kind of cover that upper end of, better and bigger waves, but you can travel with it and surf, kind of smaller and average waves. Speaking to a few different people, it's come from a previous Lost model that I haven't surfed. I think it was called the Rock Up, which was a similar kind of outline. But chatting with the guys at Lost and looking for the website, there's a few changes where it's kind of iterated from that and it's come into the board, which is completely new, which is the Sabotaj. So the Sabotaj has just a fairly kind of gentle rocker if you look at it. It's actually quite flat. There's a bit of lift through the bottom just to kind of keep that nose out of the water and keep it easy to surf. The distribution of the foam through the board is pretty good. There's quite a bit of foam under the chest. It'll make it easy to paddle and move across water really well. And it feels like the rail is a bit of kind of a mid-rail. It actually feels like it's quite flat through the deck and it comes away and just kind of drops off quite late. When you flip over the Sabotaj, I think it has a bit of a single that comes through the board and it feels like just a bit of a double through the fins there. Nothing too deep, just a kind of really gentle concave through the bottom of the board to keep water moving. So I've been surfing the Sabotaj for a while now. I've probably had it for a month or two and being able to surf it in a fairly wide range of conditions. Waves from kind of 2 foot around knee high to waves that have been well overhead. On the Lost website, it says that it covers everything from kind of 2 to 10 foot. And I found it definitely does. Waves in that kind of 2 to 3 foot range, the board does work, but it's not the board I grabbed for those conditions. I've had the opportunity to surf it in, we have a local reef, it's kind of a bit of a slab, quite a late takeoff, kind of barrels and a bit of a down line wave, and this thing was absolutely perfect for it. This kind of wide outline at the front of the board that holds a lot of foam, and also a nice distribution of foam under your chest, made those kind of late takeoffs really easy to paddle into. But if you pull back through the board here, it has quite a narrow and pinny tail, and it kept the board really, really manoeuvrable, and it also thins out a lot under the foot here. So that narrowness of the tail and that thinning out under your back foot kept it really easy to surf and very, very manoeuvrable. So coming out of those kind of longer waves and those tubes, you're able to turn the board, super maneuverable in really kind of tight and critical sections. So really easy to surf in waves kind of 3 to 4 foot and well above. It mentions on the website the board is a quiver killing board, one board for a lot of conditions. If you're going to like Indonesia, Mexico, somewhere at the Maldives, somewhere where you're going to surf mainly good waves, this board is epic. You know what I mean? You might get a few days that are kind of 2 to 3 foot, maybe not a lot of push. This board will still go quite well. It's not the board you'd grab for kind of gravelly and average conditions. But if the trip is going to be the majority of the time in fairly good waves, this is an absolutely epic board for that. One thing that was really interesting was fins for the board. I went on quite the fin journey with this board. So when I started with the board, I just got a bunch of stuff off FCS and I tried out the new Julian Wilson Air Core. I'd been absolutely frothing on it in another board and it felt mental, but I put it in this and it did not feel good at all. I went across to the large Almeric template and that didn't feel that great either. And I was mecking around with like the Philippe Toledo fin and a bunch of different fins. And I had these Accelerators, which were a medium fin. And these are the leader of the fin family, the Accelerator fin family. And strangely enough, these felt really, really good. I'd always been someone who kind of gone to like a pro model fin or a shaper model fin. So I hadn't normally gone to like Accelerator and different fins like this, but this felt absolutely epic. It kept the board really maneuverable, quite fast and really easy to surf. The 511 Sabotaj I've been riding is exactly 30 litres, but I must say it actually felt quite small. While surfing the Sabotaj, I've actually been lucky enough to also surf the Beach Buggy 2, which is 29.7 litres, and in comparison, that felt like it had a bit more foam through it. Just for that, I'd say anyone who's looking at a Sabotaj, if you're looking at one off the rack or you're looking at ordering one, and you may be deciding between two sizes, I would say go to the upper end. I think having that little bit of extra foam will make the board easier to paddle into waves, easier to surf, and it'll also make the board perform over a much wider range of conditions. Overall, the Sabotaj has been really cool to surf. Definitely is going to stay in the quiver. If I've got a trip to Indo or something like that, we're going to have some good waves. I love the fact that it's not a long board, but it performs in much larger waves. Hopefully you get a chance to check one out and you've enjoyed the review today. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. If you like what you saw, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could hit like. If you want to see more of what we're doing, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe. Beyond what we're doing here on YouTube, we also have an Instagram account which we're keeping pretty active with. You'll find it on Instagram at the Surfboard Guide, and on there we'll be posting stuff about boards we have, immediate stuff about our experiences with them. We'll also have a chance to maybe connect with other people that have an experience with board that you may be interested in. Thanks so much for watching.